of vigesimal mathematics, that to properly understand the law of time and the true nature of time, we need to go to a mathematics that is not the same as the mathematics of space, that there is a mathematics of time, that as the fourth dimension, time is greater than and includes the third dimension, that time, the fourth dimension, informs the third dimension, that from the point of view of space, space is infinite and time is unlocatable. But from the point of view of time, space is an infinitely locatable point, which is your consciousness, that the evolution of time is the evolution of consciousness. The dynamics of the evolution of time are the evolution of consciousness, that consciousness is a property of stellar evolution, that consciousness is evolved by the star system, that the different planets of the star system hold the different harmonic resonant patterns of the particular star, and those harmonic patterns or waves are the functions, or hold the different functions of consciousness, that these can be mapped out on a fourth dimensional interplanetary map, which is known as the telectronon, and that in the process or the course of the evolution of the star systems, that we also have a particular situation of why was it that here on this planet that we got separated from the natural timing frequency, that the rest of life in the universe is functioning on this natural timing frequency. Why did we get separated from it? And this brings in then the fact that we are dealing with the universal theology that has to do with the free will zone, the experiment in the free will zone, that the free will zone is defined as the Velatropa sector, that it's a zone 6,000 light years in circumference, that is defined by the pulsar called Vela, which is a remnant of a supernova, and that this pulsar defines the entire experimental zone, that our star, Kinichahau, is or V24, Velatropa 24, is at the very center of this experimental zone, and that the different errors and karmic residue of the experiments of free will that have occurred have been deposited at the very center of the Velatropa sector, and that in our planetary system, that we have had this karmic residue and error, which was visited first on Maldek, the fifth planet, which is now the asteroid belt, which holds the sound of the mysterious lost chord Zymox, and that from Maldek the error was transmitted to Mars, where the civilization of Mars was blown out, and now the final place, the repository of that error, is here on Earth. And during the last 5,200 year cycle, that we've entered the intense zone of trial and testing, and that to understand all of this, where we are at this point in time, which is spoken about in the sacred texts and the prophecies of all peoples, that the revelation of the law of time has come to help us to understand our position in time and where we are according to the Mayan Great Cycle. We are now some less than 13 years from the ending of the Great Cycle on the winter solstice 2012, which incidentally at that point in time the Earth will be perfectly aligned with galactic center in the constellation Sagittarius. And so that is a perfect alignment of the Earth with the galactic center. And that's, what else did we miss in our review? You got all that, right? Come on. It's just, so to help us get through that, not only do we have the analysis of the problem, the analysis of how it got here, that this is the moment of the judgment day, but then we also have the instruments or the tools to help reharmonize and rearrange the synchronic order in a harmonic way, because during the 1260 deformation of time, that the genetic code and our perceptions became deformed to such a degree that we think peace is war and the universe is flat. But so we need to get out of that quagmire, and so the instruments and tools like the 260 postulates of the dynamics of time, the 20 tablets of the law of time, and the 7777 have been revealed and given us as the tools so that we actually can participate in what is usually referred to as the second creation. In the cosmology of this final dispensation, this revelation which confirms all previous revelation, and as we demonstrated this morning mathematically, that the law of time affirms the final criterion of the historical cycle, which is the Holy Quran, and the law of time is found in the Holy Quran, just as the 19 code of the Holy Quran is found to be the main mathematical constant in the Mayan Tzolk'in, so that we have complete affirmation of these points. In this cosmology, we speak of three types, which are all one type, okay, of emerging evolution. Because also, as we saw that at this point, which is referred to as the Judgment Day trial, that we are actually at the point of what is referred to as the biosphere-noosphere transition, the catharsis of the biosphere in a state of high biogeochemical heat and transduction, that the passage from the biosphere to the noosphere represents the creation of a telepathically unified field among the human species, which can only come about by the human species being restored into the correct timing frequency, the 1320 timing frequency. And when we are restored in the 1320 timing frequency, the universal telepathy then creates a sphere around the planet which encompasses the biosphere, which is referred to as the noosphere, the mental sphere around the planet, and that can only be a complete integrated mental sphere as a result of the universal telepathy that is restored by living in the 1320 frequency, and which again is based on the following and being a function of the 13 moon calendar. And this points to the preparation for the emergence into the next geological cycle of the Earth, which is the Psychozoic era, which occurs or will occur or is scheduled to occur in 2013, following the closeout of the Great Cycle at the end of 2012. And so to prepare for that, we are being evolved no longer at the material level, but at the mental and the spiritual level, so that we can fully participate in the fourth dimensional order of reality. All of life is one, everything is a unity. The awakening of the soul of the earth is the awakening of our own soul and unitary consciousness. When at the time of resurrection, there's only one soul that is resurrected. We're all made from one prototype atom Cadmon, and that prototype exists in all of us. There is no such thing as separation. That is a disease of the mind caused by the 1260 Satan trap of artificial time. So in preparation for all this, that we have the emergence of a new evolutionary type. Generically, the evolutionary type is referred to as the Earth Wizard. The Earth Wizard is the being that lives completely in harmony with the Earth, lives completely in the 1320 timing frequency, and has the capacity to practice the celestial harmonics that define the higher levels of the fourth dimensional order of mind as they are defined in the 260 postulates of the dynamics of time. Aren't you glad this is being recorded?